Research and discovery. Futuris.
I was walking on a wet pavement. I was wearing rubber shoes and I slipped. My glasses fell off, I fell on my shoulder and then my head hit the pavement right after I felt slightly stunned.
In 2008, there were some 84 million elderly people in Europe. A third of them face the risk of falling. That's around 28 million people. Falls are a huge, dangerous risk for millions of people.
People helped me get up. I came home. I was in quite a lot of pain. 2 nights later, I had to be taken to hospital. My back was completely black. My upper arm was broken.
At the end of the day, what does mobility mean for elderly people? What does it mean to be able to go for a walk, to go out? Of course, it's a physical function, but it's also a way to keep in touch with society. It's a vital way of being a part of society.
One evening, I fell on the stairs. It was a bad fall. I went home, I was bleeding. It was a very difficult time for me, made worse by the fact that I live alone.
Elderly people who've suffered a fall don't just lose their balance at a given moment. There's often a cause or an aftermath. Many of them also lose the ability to walk safely. They're no longer able to link motor physical movements with impulses coming from the brain. So they need training. And the best way to do this is to provide them with an unstable environment.
And that's precisely the aim of this strange pair of shoes recently developed by European researchers. Welcome to Ancona, one of the capitals of Italian shoe fashion. The volunteers working at this geriatric hospital are not here to try on ordinary shoes. They are all over the age of 65 and have all been victims of a fall. These volunteers are here to test the mechatronic shoe, a European Union research project intended to help users walk in a safer manner. The first step is to customize the shoes to each wearer. A physiotherapist monitors the whole process.
Benvenuto nel progetto Smiling. Premi il pulsante verde per attivare il programma.
This remote control gives us the necessary instructions. Information concerning each patient, including shoe size, height and weight, is sent from the computer to this remote control. The software system then elaborates a customized training session adapted to each patient's physical specificities and needs.
Si regolano in modo che poi la sessione e l'esercizio corrispondano proprio al paziente che noi abbiamo selezionato.
Studs on the soles of the shoes randomly change angles to destabilize the wearer, stimulating his brain to try to keep his balance. And there's more.
So
the shoes change angles all the time. We also stimulate the user's brains with other tricks. Wearers must listen to various instructions, follow a path along colored lines on the floor. And they also have to carry out what we call a dual task, an additional activity to walking. In this case, the woman is juggling with a ball. All our patients have fallen at least once. They need to regain trust. With this training, we try to teach them to get used to obstacles they might find while walking outside in the street. The training definitely helps their bodies relearn motor strategies that they can use in their daily lives. They learn how to perceive their own bodies in a given space. And by doing so, they improve their quality of life.
It took 4 years to build and assemble the 300 components that make up each shoe. It was here at the University of Bologna that parts of the shoe's electronic system were developed. The technical challenges were huge.
There were very strict technical requirements. For instance, very narrow electronic circuits. We also had to sort out crucial safety issues. The electricity supply system has to be able to manage short circuits and low voltage episodes by itself to avoid any risk of harming users.
Validation tests have been carried out in 4 different cities, including Košice in Slovakia. Elderly people with a history of gait and balance disorders came to this geriatric hospital to test the shoes in a real-life environment.
Lately, I've suffered from gait and balance disorders. Not long ago, I was walking along the street one morning and I just wasn't able to keep my balance. I went to the doctors. There was a problem with my inner ear. I had to take drugs for nearly 2 months.
Biomedical engineers and physiotherapists gathered useful information on how the brain can be challenged to relearn motor strategies.
Balance problems are partially caused by muscle weakness and disorders within the nervous system. We think that some of these problems can be resolved by unexpectedly disrupting the patient's motion to weaken balance problems. That's the goal of this shoe.
In this geriatric centre, I work with senior citizens suffering from vertigo and who have problems keeping their balance. Any neuro-rehabilitation tool that can provide them with more autonomy and greater independence in their daily lives is very welcome.
Back in Italy, computer scientists at the University of Bologna are already looking at the future. In the future, the remote control that manages pattern download and orders could be a smartphone. The whole mechanical structure of existing shoes could be much more simple and inserted into an ordinary shoe. So users, not only elderly people, but also younger people, if they need it, could use the whole system to train at home. There is indeed wide room for improvement, even according to the researchers working on the project. Only time will tell what path these mechatronic shoes will follow in the future.